Hi, everybody. It's Alex Jarett with Technology Executives Club. I'm here with my good friend Patrick Marshall, a partner at Altman Solon. Patrick, how are you?
Doing well, Alex. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you and to be seen. So, Patrick is in a really interesting space. Altman Solon, you all are experts in telecommunications, media, and tech, actually strategic consulting, right?
Yes, we are big growing firm, about 700 consultants strong and around the globe. But I'm based here in the Midwest.
So, well, that's so cool. It's great to have a local contact, a Midwest contact that we can get insights from. We have a lot of telecommunications media, especially a lot of tech companies, especially on the infrastructure side in the Midwest. And for companies that are trying to figure out their strategy, how is this whole AI shift that's happening really affecting your world?
Yeah. No, it's a great question. I mean, I think it's kind of Wild West right now. Everybody knows that they need to have an AI strategy. What's our
Yeah.
AI strategy is happening at the board level and the C-suite level at our clients. But it's also happening with the investors, both the financial investors, and then if you think about, some of the big companies that are acquisitive and buying some of their capabilities through M&A, they're trying to evaluate, hey, what's going on with AI? Not just the cool part of like, hey, should I buy into this AI strategy? Or especially if I'm in the data center realm, which is a big hot spot in Chicagoland area. There's plenty of data centers, and folks are kind of thinking about how that's going to impact their business. But from the investors who are thinking, hey, am I going to buy into a business that is going to be disintermediated or disrupted, at least through AI? And should I have a point of view as to how that's going to, impact my investment thesis and my life cycle of buying this acquisition? Is it a boom play for me, or is there actually some risk of busting out based on AI coming in and kind of taking out the margin profile and or just the top line growth that I was expecting? And so we get asked this question quite a bit from both our investor clients as well as our corporate clients. Just, hey, what's the impact of AI? And we're spending a lot of time on all elements of it. Is it going to save us money? Is it going to improve our top line? Is it going to impact the way I do business today? And how well positioned am I? And what's my competitor doing? So lots of good questions out there. Nobody has the crystal ball answer just yet, but everybody's kind of really pushing forward with a range of different priorities and agenda. And it's expensive too, right? AI is not cheap. So I think folks are also trying to sort of prioritize where are the best plays for me to sort of be thinking about those AI strategies, because you could spend a lot of money all over your organization.
Yeah, you sure can.
And they used to talk about shadow IT, which they still do. Like businesses, as they get larger, they've got all kinds of spend everywhere. But now you got to worry about shadow AI, and you're worried about data and your data privacy, and there's lots of issues in and around the AI topic of the day. So keeps us busy.
I could think of a ton of questions that if I'm in the PE market, your clients, if I'm in the PE, if I'm one of these companies buying companies and selling companies all the time. And so what we're seeing a lot of early success is using AI in team environments where AI is a team member, but that's just going to get the initial efficiency, cost savings type of impact. And the early ones are getting great returns. But what's intriguing to me about your area is, let's assume that a few years from now, everybody's kind of figured that out. Now we're all more efficient, right? Now what? Now, where's the real innovation going to occur? How do you help them see that part of the crystal ball? Because if I'm buying or selling, I'm sort of thinking, okay, are they going to survive the shift that will happen over time, over the time horizon?
Yeah. So, I mean, great kind of topic or set of questions I think are in there embedded.
Yeah.
But, depends on the sector. I mean, I think, actually we have a lot of investors who have been traditionally buying in a lot of software, SaaS platforms.
Makes sense.
Cloud-enabled SaaS solutions. It's a very hot space. and there's quite a, outside of the, the Microsofts and the Salesforces and the SAPs, there's like, tons and tons of specialized software. I think the question is actually, are those going to persist? Is AI going to be able to sort of, like, as you think about a software code, is basically it's writing a set of kind of slick instructions to sort of like help manage a process inside of an organization and gather data and, bring insight and kind of like, engage in a certain, function in and across an organization. If I've got an AI or a set of AI solutions in there, how much software am I going to need? Is it going to be able to sort of intuit and drive, its behavior as long as it's got access to the right data set? Yeah. So I think some of the investors are thinking, hey, how should I be thinking about SaaS? It kind of reminds, the analog that I often kind of think about, it reminds me of the 25 years ago that unfortunately I was around then, kind of thinking through that set of questions with e-commerce was going to, the end of brick and mortar. We're not going to, see another retailer walk into another store. And, by and large, the world has changed, but it didn't happen as fast and as furious as we once thought it was. I think it's evolved. We now get deliveries at our doorfront. That last mile was finally solved, but it took a good number of years to do that. So I think it did. We're gonna just like our messy, business economics. It's going to take a little slower than everybody's kind of freaking themselves out about. But it will happen. It'll probably happen even a little faster than that kind of e-commerce model, just because the pace of change and the way these systems are going to grow and embed themselves into how, you'll have an agent sitting on your call at some point. Do you need all the people that are on there? Is the agent just going to outperform everybody who's sitting in that meeting, and can they just get some of those tasks done? I mean, that's going to be the question as kind of they evolve into sort of like looking to optimize those cost structures.
So when you help a client, I mean, a big part of your business is helping them plan transactions, investments, things like that, or plan to sell. So you're on both sides of the coin, right?
Yeah.
So when you help that client, how do you go about with this question, AI, how is it going to affect us, either our purchase or our sale? What are some of the big steps that you would take to help these people?
Sure. Given it's early days, right? So I think we do a lot of most of our work is not just us in a whiteboard in a boardroom kind of thinking of some great ideas. We've got all the answers. We actually do quite a bit of primary research that kind of helps build confidence in our answer. So when we get hired by a client, we do a lot of research. We're talking to experts. We're talking to their clients or potential buyers, ideal customer profile type investigation, whether we're doing some significant surveying of those customers. And then often case in kind of B2B tech, which I spent a lot of time in, there's a whole series of, channel partners and kind of go-to-market players that are part of that ecosystem. So you really are trying to gain a voice as to sort of a collective voice as to what's really happening, so that you can kind of go from, the board mandate to say, hey, we need an AI strategy. Yeah. And then a bunch of people run around wondering, what do I do? And start trying all kinds of things and expending money. What we're trying to do is trying to bring some priority to a set of actions and a strategy for, how you would be thinking about, rolling out, and what are the logicals, first plays, what's the short term, medium term, and long range plan. That makes sense. Then trying to build out, there's a little bit of a business case. And now what people are doing now is like, hey, we've got proof, large companies have got proof of concepts all over the place, but it's costly. And now they're trying to do some rationalization. So a lot of times we're helping them kind of like rationalize which ones of these are really going to add value, whether it's in improving your customer experience, whether it's making things happen more efficiently and saving money doing so. But that's kind of how we do it. We deliver that, in a strategy report, but we like to try and stay involved, because the challenge is like kind of staying focused. The other thing is, it's constantly changing. Like, the pace of change is tricky. The tools and solutions like are, coming out all the time. So having a kind of latest pulse. At some point, you have to place some bets on certain tools and try and drive them.
This has been great. I think I got probably a dozen different questions I could ask you, but we're out of time. Maybe you'll come back. In the meantime, somebody watching this, either they're on either side of the coin, or either a business owner thinking, hey, what's the future look like in terms of selling this or growing this business? Or if you've got on the other side of P&E, somebody's watching that, investor, how should someone reach out to you, and what would be the first step to just to say hello?
Sure. patrick.marshall@altmansolon.com is my email address, or go to our website, altmansolon.com, and you can find me. But, if you just come out of an executive meeting and you've got to kind of develop a strategy and you're kind of not sure where to go, and you've kind of got to figure out how to prioritize, these are the kind of questions that we love helping our clients, try and find optimal answers. If you're an investor and you are kind of really worried or concerned about how is this going to impact my current portfolio or some of my new investments, we definitely do a lot of work in that realm. And that's where to find me. And happy to take any and all conversations. It's a wild spot, and and there's a lot of good answers out there right now, but sometimes it's a messy enough place that you need some help, external help, to sort of think through how to make some decisions.
Yeah, well, you're not tied to the day to day, so it's easier for you to look at the bigger picture. So it just makes a lot of sense to get some expertise like you to help these folks. Well, Pat, it's been great talking to you as always. Thanks for taking the time.
Sure. Thanks, Alex. Take care.